In today's lesson, we'll be learning how to determine the number of solutions in a linear system. In our first example, we have a linear system with no solutions. In other words, these are parallel lines and they have 0 points of intersection. These lines would have to have the exact same slope and their y-intercepts would have to be different. If you imagine these two lines going back towards the y-intercept, you'll see that they both have different y-intercepts. In our second example, we have a linear system with one solution. In other words, these are intersecting lines which only have one point of intersection. And that one point of intersection happens to be right over here. These lines have slopes which are different, and they'll have y-intercepts that are different as well. If you work these lines backwards towards the y-axis, you'll see that they have different y-intercepts. However, you can also have lines that have the same y-intercept. Take a look at the purple and green lines. Their point of intersection happens to be both the point of intersection and the y-intercept. In our last example, we have a linear system with infinite solutions. These are called coincident lines. In other words, they are overlapping lines and they have an infinite number of points of intersection. These lines intersect here, 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 and we can keep going on and on and on forever. These lines have exactly the same slope. And they also have exactly the same y-intercept. If you work these lines backwards towards the y-axis, you'll see they have the exact same y-intercept.